Welcome back into the film room. I'm your host, Eric Turner. And before we get started, please smash that like button. Leave us a comment on your favorite plays or players from this game against the Dolphins. And at the very least, subscribe to the Cover One YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to take a look at some of the defensive highlights from the Bills' 34-31 win over the Miami Dolphins. The defense was put in a tough spot for most of the day, but I thought for the most part they held their own. And several players stood out from this game. Linebackers Tremaine Edmunds, Matt Milano, cornerbacks Kaiir Elam, Tre'Davious White, and Taron Johnson. I thought the secondary and the linebackers together as a unit played very well in pass coverage. They had 7 pass breakups in total against the Miami Dolphins. Obviously, a very good offensive unit. So we're going to highlight some of those plays and players in today's video. So without further ado, let's jump into the film. This is the 5th play of the game. It's a 2nd and 8 situation. The Dolphins are running a play action bootleg pass here. This is an interception by Dean Marlow. Bills are in cover 3. It's a 3-level passing concept, so you have a clearing route by the number 1 to the bottom, deep over from Tyreek Hill, and then a slide route from the backfield. And Marlow said he was schematically out of position. So you're getting the slice by Poyer. He's going to overtake Tyreek Hill. Trey White's going to replace him deep. And Marlow is a flats defender in this cover 3 look, but he does come down to take away that slide route from Smythe. But he really should be then getting depth to the flats here to deter this throw altogether. He plays it a little low, but he realizes mid-throw from Thompson that he's a little too low. He needs to gain depth. He does. Undercuts that pass for the interception. Here it is from the end zone angle. Processing run to pass. It's a little too shallow here. Right here, he realizes Milano's got that slide route. I need to get depth. Thompson's eyes are downfield, so he gains that depth and picks off the pass. All right, 1st and 10 situation in the first quarter, 3:05 on the clock. Trey White, top of the screen versus Hill. Had a great day overall versus the Dolphins wide receivers. I want you to watch his footwork and how he just chokes this route off, forces the incompletion, and just watch his feet. Initially, you can see the release from Hill out wide. You can see Trey White motoring out, but keeping himself square to Hill. So he knows he's releasing outside, but he stays square, adjusts his leverage so he can use his hands, and really just takes away any type of outside release here, gets into his pocket, plays physical, and forces the incompletion. This is the pass breakup from Tre'Davious White. It's a 3rd and 15 play where the Bills drop into what looks like cover 3, so the Finns get the rotation they want, and they run a go route to Jalen Waddle. And Trey White shows off his recovery speed and makes a play at the catch point. So the Bills have played a lot more of these single high looks since Trey's come back. In weeks 1 through 11, they ran cover 1 18.3%. In weeks 13 to 18, with Trey White in the lineup, they've run it 21.4%. Same goes for cover 3. In prior weeks 1 through 11, they ran cover 3 23.1%. In weeks 13 to 18, with White in the lineup, they've run this cover 3 look 33.5%. So a lot more single high looks with Trey in the lineup. This one, again, Waddle got behind him, but I just love the recovery speed from Trey White on this. And then the play on the ball. The ball sails a little bit, but the technique to punch this ball out with his left hand up through the pocket at the catch point is really what forced this incompletion. And it's something the Bills did in the secondary all day. Linebacker Matt Milano had himself a day, led the team in tackles, played well in all 3 phases, in coverage, stopped the run well, was very disruptive in that regard. But he also made a difference as a pass rusher, and the Bills are going to need that from their linebackers going forward. If they aren't able to get home with a traditional 4-man rush, they're going to have to run some of those simulated and creeper pressures and also some of these blitzes. So they're adding him on as a pass rusher here. It's a 5-man pressure on this play. But the coverage on the back end, I want to talk about that and how it helps the Bills on this play. So they're sending Milano right there. He fires his gun, gets downhill. But look at the coverage on the back end. Everyone is plastered really well, playing with good leverage, using the boundary as a defender. Taron Johnson does a great job on Tyreek Hill in the slot here. Is physical with him, is disruptive, gets in his hip pocket. There's really nowhere to go with the ball, and that forces Thompson to hold on to it, and Milano cleans up. So here it is from the end zone angle. Again, 5-man pressure. You got your 4 defensive pass rushers from the D-line. You're adding Milano on here. Tremaine Edmunds has the running back in man coverage, but as that guy steps up to pick up Milano, he adds on. And watch how that affects this throw over the middle. Obviously, Tremaine Edmunds has that length. He's coming full bore right down Broadway. Good coverage by Taron Johnson. So Thompson is forced to pull the ball down, not make that throw. He's not open over the middle. He's got two guys bearing down on him. Milano cleans up for the sack. We are in the second quarter, 9:12 on the clock. First and 10 situation. This is a 1-yard gain. One hell of a run stop and read by Matt Milano in the middle of the defense here. Just a great read and working through that trash. So they're going to try to screw up the Bills' alignment with that motion prior to the snap. Make sure that they're getting to their proper alignments at the second level with their linebackers and whatnot. But watch this read right here. So technically, this is Matt Milano's gap. But watch how Settle gets washed down into that gap. Instead of just running down into that gap, watch him avoid it right there. Look at that little sidestep. Uses his hands, avoids that trash, and then goes and makes the tackle. Just a great read and that athleticism of working in traffic and around that trash by Matt Milano to minimize this gain to only 1 yard. Still in the second quarter, 2:24 on the clock. This is a 3rd and 7 situation. The other linebacker, Tremaine Edmunds, has a big hit on the running back here. So money down here. Bills are in man coverage. Tremaine Edmunds is stacked over the B gap, but you can see the Bills are in man coverage. Milano's on Gesicki. I mean, everyone is showing man posture across the board. Too high safety look. Post snap, they're going to drop Poyer down into what looks like a robber roll, but the Dolphins are trying to sneak out the running back here, and I don't know why they think they can get this on Tremaine Edmunds. Maybe they're expecting him to take a terrible angle, but you can see he wipes that running back out. Stays over the top of Milano, doesn't try working flat through this traffic. He stays over the top. That's great awareness by him, and then he tracks the ball and then sets the tone. You know, when Tremaine Edmunds with his size can set the tone physically, I mean, he's going to be another player. You don't see it all that often. He's done it a lot better this year, but it made a difference in this game, and I'll show you that here in a couple plays. But there he is, stacked in the B gap, dropping out. They try to wheel that running back up the sideline, and then boom, Tremaine Edmunds separates the player from the ball. Second quarter here, 1:32 left in the first half. First and 10 situation. Another play from Tremaine Edmunds in the middle of the field in pass coverage, making his presence known. As the running back is running that curl and the ball is incoming, you can see it on the broadcast angle. That running back clenches up because he knows Tremaine Edmunds is driving on this ball, and he's going to be there at the point of contact as the ball arrives, and Edmunds is able to break the pass up. This was definitely one of those games that Edmunds made his presence known, not just with his speed and length, but with his contact. When he was making contact with receivers and running backs, he was making plays on the ball, but also running through the player to break those passes up. All right, we're in the third quarter now, 14:25 on the clock. 3rd and 9 situation. This was a 3-and-out to start the second half. Man coverage across the board. Marlow drops down as the robber. Just look at the coverage by the Bills defenders. All in man coverage. Elam's to the top of the screen. Mirrors the receiver there. Taron Johnson does a great job of mirroring Tyreek Hill in the slot. Obviously, he has help inside to the middle of the field, so he doesn't have to worry about that. Trey White plastering perfectly to the bottom of the screen, just chokes that guy out right into the boundary. And then Tremaine Edmunds, watch him. He has the running back coming out of the backfield. Look at how he leverages this play. Doesn't just fly downhill to the running back. Look at him leverage his play. There's no one open. Groot takes an inside rush on the quarterback to get him off the spot. So Thompson extends a play, but the coverage is so good. Everyone plasters down. There's no one open. Thompson tries throwing it towards the sticks to the running back, and Edmunds is there to break it up. This was just a great job from top to bottom, especially in the secondary, disguising it prior to the snap, dropping down into that one robber look, and just taking away all the options for the quarterback, getting the quarterback off the spot, and then Tremaine Edmunds closing out the play with the pass breakup. So on the very next drive, first play of that drive, first and 10 situation, 11:16 on the clock in the third quarter. Taron Johnson in the slot to the top of the screen right here. One-on-one coverage with Jalen Waddle running that deep over. Lets him release outside, but then you can see him make a play on the ball down the field. Just a great play on the ball. Something the Bills secondary did very well in this game. 7 pass breakups can be attributed to the defensive backs and linebackers of the Bills, and this was just a textbook play at the catch point. Just watch it from the end zone angle. Waddle does get some separation. Johnson's all by himself with no safety help because Jordan Poyer was watching the tight end right there. So they get the deep shot from Thompson to Waddle. Waddle climbs the ladder. Johnson remains calm and punches through the pocket. I mean, that's textbook secondary play from a defender, making up that ground, and then as the ball drops in, punching it out through the pocket for the incompletion. Just one hell of a play from Taron Johnson. Still in the third quarter, 10:26 on the clock. 3rd and 6 situation. Another money down pass breakup from Edmonds. He's credited with a pass breakup here in this Tampa 2 play. And I mean, talk about range and athleticism. The Dolphins are trying to sneak Gesicki down the seam on a bender route versus this too high look. Look where Tremaine Edmunds is lined up. He's at the 25-yard line, opens up to the field, flips his hips, finds that bender route, gains depth, and right around the 45-yard line, he goes up and tries making a play on the ball there. This throw had to be perfect, and Thompson wasn't able to complete it to the Gesicki, and that's because of the range, the athleticism, and the length of Tremaine Edmunds. The Bills secondary and linebackers did a great job, whether they're in man or zone. This is a zone play. They did a great job of making those passing windows tighter. And the length and range here from Tremaine Edmunds really prevented Thompson from completing this pass way down the field. Speaking about plays on the ball, this is Elam's interception in the third quarter, 7:34 on the clock. 3rd and 19 situation, Elam reads the quarterback beautifully, gains depth, high points the ball for the interception. Looked like the Dolphins were trying to sneak the number 2 and 3 receiver vertically versus this cover 2 type look. Elam could have easily just stopped right there, but there's no one really threatening his area. So he gains that depth, and as a quarterback, Skylar Thompson tries getting it up and over the top of Elam into that honey hole. Elam closes that window, brings the ball in for the interception. So good ball skills and read from Elam on this play, gaining that depth, then making a play on the ball at the catch point. Still in the third quarter, 4:44 left on the clock, 1st and 10 situation. Bills send a blitz here and force incompletion, but I want to show you how sticky the coverage was between Taron Johnson, who is motioning with Tyreek Hill, and Kaiir Elam to the bottom of the screen versus Jalen Waddle. Very tight coverage with the pressure call here. Look at him connect to the wide receivers and then shut it down, especially in that 5 to 10 yard area when the ball has to come out with pressure. So they're aggressive, they're sticky, and the disruption, the pressure and blitz sent by the Bills gets home and causes the incompletion. So you saw the Bills send a blitz on 1st down. This time they send what we call a creeper pressure. So Tremaine Edmunds is blitzing here, but the Bills are dropping A.J. Epinesa out into a zone and just playing cover 3. So it's a creeper pressure. They're only showing 4 at the line of scrimmage. Edmunds adds on. A.J. Epinesa drops in the hook to curl area. It's cover 3. Edmunds gets free and gets Thompson off the spot. But then as he's extending the play, there's no one open. Everyone plasters down, takes away all the options, and the pass goes incomplete. Here it is from the end zone angle. Again, creeper pressure. Still a 4-man rush. Edmunds is rushing. Epinesa is dropping out at defensive end. Cover 3, it's pretty simple, but you can see how disruptive Edmunds is, getting the quarterback off the spot. And Thompson, when he's running and he's on the run, he's not that good of a quarterback as far as accuracy goes. He has no options here anyways, and he ends up throwing it away. On the very next play, the Bills were just really messing with Thompson on this drive. 3rd and 10 situation, and to the top of the screen, Thompson wants to get rid of the ball to Tyreek Hill in the slot on that out route, but the coverage is just really good from pre to post snap. So the Bills are showing several defenders up near the line of scrimmage, but it's a simulated pressure. They drop out. They only rush 4. The 4 rushers include Matt Milano there, and then Shaq Lawson to the top of the screen drops out as a pass coverage defender here as the Bills run their Palms coverage. Watch Taron Johnson in the slot. He is the deep half defender. So the Bills are spinning Johnson to a deep half, Dean Marlow to a deep half, and playing that Palms coverage. As I said, Hill wants the ball right here. They want to throw it to him. Shaq Lawson is obviously in trail, but Tre White traps this play. So as Hill is running that out, he can trap it. And I think Thompson sees that and says, uh-oh, I can't do that. He's got help over the top. So the trap from Tre White takes away Hill. The deep defender, Taron Johnson, takes away the go route. So Thompson has to move on in his progressions. And then he's outside of the pocket, out of script. Everyone else covers down. They're short of the sticks on third down. There's no one open. And the pass goes incomplete. Still in the third quarter, 2:07 on the clock. First and 10 situation. This is a run stop from Kaiir Elam. The willingness and urgency to come up and make the tackle on this play were incredibly huge. And this play could have been a lot bigger if he doesn't make this tackle, if he doesn't trip up this running back. This is something he wanted to work on throughout the season, his urgency and ability to finish, not just in the pass game at the catch point, but in the run game, coming up and making those kind of tackles. Something he's going to have to do a lot in this defense. And it was a big play by Elam because as the ball is snapped and they're running it out wide, if he doesn't come up and make this tackle, with everyone getting washed out here, there's an alley developing here for the running back. So this play could have been a lot bigger if Elam doesn't come up to make this tackle. We are now in the fourth quarter, 13:53 on the clock. First and 10 situation. This is the sack by Ed Oliver, but I want to show you the coverage on the back end. Man coverage again, very tight coverage. Tre White locks his man down. Taron Johnson in a slot. Once again, doing a great job on that over route. You see him getting the trail technique. This may have been Taron Johnson's best game in coverage, specifically if we're talking man coverage. Top of the screen, Kaiir Elam off man coverage, and then Jordan Poyer has a tight end leaking out. But Tremaine Edmunds adds on as a pass rusher here, and it frees up Oliver for the sack on Skylar Thompson. So here it is from the end zone angle. Ball snapped. Offensive lineman set the protection. Tremaine Edmunds isn't accounted for. He comes right through the A gap. This guard now has to decide, do I stick with Ed Oliver or the most dangerous threat who's coming full speed down Broadway? He decides to squeeze, pick up Edmunds. Oliver is now free for the sack. On to the final drive of this game. 3:26 left in the game. A 3rd-and-1 situation. And another great read from Matt Milano. He's stacked in the A gap. It's 3rd-and-1. The Bills need a play, and boy, does he make it here. Look at him work through that trash once again and bring down the running back for no gain. Just a tremendous read from him, but also, once again, working through that traffic. The double team here on Ed Oliver washes him out of the play, but Matt Milano avoids it and then inserts and wraps up the running back to minimize the gain. On to the final play of this game, a 4th-and-5 situation. Cornerback Kaiir Elam to the top of the screen, breaks up the pass to the tight end Mike Gesicki. But this was a play where the pass rush complemented the coverage quite well. So on the snap, Groot is going to take an inside power move to the quarterback here, and that forces Skylar Thompson to escape the pocket to his right when most of his routes are going to the middle of the field to his left. But the only route that really is going to his right is the whip route by Gesicki to the top of the screen. Elam's in good position, but there is some separation at the top as he whips back towards the boundary. But it was the pressure from Groot, getting Thompson on the run, and then the speed and recovery speed and athleticism by Kaiir Elam on this play to get back into the pocket of the tight end and make a play at the catch point. Just watch the power move from Groot. Really gets up under the pads of Robert Hunt right there, takes that inside line, and Thompson was looking over the middle, but Edmonds is right there. So if he throws it right now, he would have to lead him right here. Again, he's not that good a quarterback, so he doesn't anticipate that throw. So he escapes the pocket, and there's the separation, but here's the recovery speed from Kaiir Elam, getting right into the play, getting back into the pocket of the tight end to help break up this pass and essentially get the Bills the win. If you like that breakdown, please smash that like button, leave us a comment in the comment section, and subscribe to the channel to be notified when we drop any new content that we drop pretty much every single day. There's a new podcast, there are new videos every single day of the week on the channel. And if you're into these type of film breakdowns, make sure to join us Tuesday nights in the film room at 9 p.m. on the channel. I'm Eric Turner, owner of Cover One, host of the film room. We'll see you back in the film room tomorrow night.